Today is day 5 of 21. So, this is still a conversation mostly about in terms of how that makes us feel resourceful or the thoughts that we think and the quality of the thoughts that we think. I definitely associate all that with a kind of impersonal, kind of personal frequency or my personal vibration, like the state of my being. So I've shared with a lot of you the stress of taking on Gabby, this new beautiful dog. And during those 2 months, feeling so full of fear around, at first it seemed like she was being aggressive with Lulu and that I had created a dangerous situation for Lulu. And I was trying to control everything so that everybody was safe. And those 2 months, I actually was vibrating pretty low. I was in a very low frequency. I was full of fear and doubt and regret. I thought maybe I did the wrong thing. I was thinking maybe I had to give Gabby to somebody else. I was feeling defeated, blah, blah, blah. During that time, I started to hear this scratching around in my, I didn't know where it was coming from, but I would hear it in my bedroom, in my bed, usually in the dark hours of morning and sometimes at night. Sound, it was haunting and it was creeping me out. And so I actually had somebody help me pull my bed out one day to see if there was maybe a little critter underneath, because I've had mice in my house before. And I live on a canyon, there's wild things. So we pulled back the bed, there was nothing, there was no sign of anything there. And so I go about my life and go about my business, but the same thing that I'm doing, like she doesn't know what the source is, but she's like her ears are all perked up and her tail is high and she's all activated, like trying to hunt this thing. She's looking in my bedroom closets, she's looking up at the corners of the walls, and she totally looks like my insides, like just like all, oh. So I had one really bad day, like where I felt like how bad I was feeling inside was peaking. And I mean, like my thoughts were running. I was thinking it's a possum. Like it sounded so big. It didn't sound little. It sounded like a big animal because it was just echoing in the walls and the rafters and it sounded like maybe it was in the attic. So I'm like, it's a possum. It's a raccoon. It's and then I started to really catastrophize. You know how your thinking can go into like catastrophic thinking? It's like something menacing up there. And I thought I should maybe look in my attic, but I was afraid to look because I didn't want it to like it was going to leap at me or kill me or I don't know. Catastrophizing. What is it going to take to solve this problem? I have to get somebody over here. Do we trap it? Well, just like the problem just seemed so complex. And I really just couldn't seem to settle and do anything about it until this day that I just peaked. I was just like angry and restless and everything I was trying to do. I think I might have told you a little bit about trying to use my sawzall to trim a hedge. Now, I don't know why I was trying to use my sawzall to do that because I have a hedger, but I'd forgotten about my hedger because I was in that state where, you're just stupid. You're not thinking clearly. And I got my sawzall out and I can't find the Allen wrench that opens the thing to put the blade in. And I'm looking through all my drawers to try and find the right Allen wrench. I can't believe the Allen wrench is missing from the box. And then I finally see that the Allen wrench is bungeed to the electrical cord of the sawzall like it's always been for 30 fucking years. Like, how did I not see that? How did I not remember that? It was just so unresourceful. There's mice droppings everywhere. And I'm like, I know I've had mice before, but they're like, oh, wait a minute. These are pretty fresh mouse droppings. And then I find a box of crackers that I had bought when I was doing this Candida diet, and I couldn't hardly eat anything. It was like this giant elimination diet. And I ordered these crackers that were almost entirely seeds pressed together. And that's like mice catnip. And I'd totally forgotten about it because I thought I had already looked through everything. I'd had a mouse problem before. It took me a while to see that there was, but I'd already gone through this. I'd already run this racket. I had already figured this out. And I can't believe that I'm finding this box of crackers and somehow had missed it. And I'm like, that is the source of the problem. This problem that had just become this giant thing, so complex and so beyond me. That's the source. Throw away the box, sweep up all the seeds, put the live traps back out. I know I'm not the only one because in my coaching partnerships, as a potential catalyst, that's my job in the way that I help you and others is to help you catalyze your potential. It's this idea that everything is already within. We just have to remove the obstacles. Tune in, calling in that higher quality of consciousness, accessing the guru within, all of my wisdom and all of my resourcefulness, removing the obstacles, which equals low frequency, which equals just like lame thinking, unresourceful thinking, and then making meaning out of it. That's the part that gets really challenging is that we start making meaning out of it. Like, feel like there was this menacing energy around me. That's the meaning I'm making of it. I'm starting to feel really victimized by all these challenges and circumstances. That's the meaning I'm making out of it. So can I get an amen? Like a woo woo. If you feel me, I'm going to put the gallery on here just so I can see. Like woo woo. Do you get what I'm talking about? That's what we're doing here. Is like finding a way to keep lifting our frequency, lifting our vibration. There's so many different ways of doing it. That's what almost all my coaching engagements are about. How do we keep first, for sure, the start? Let's just get your own vibration up where you can start to see better, right, Dan? It's like, and then you start going, oh my God, that's who I am. A little bit easier. And there's less mice in the attic. Ain't that grand? Ain't